The 24/7 cash flow blueprint. It's kind of a combination in terms of solving some of your problems and trying to go faster. You need to learn how to recycle your capital. You're going to recycle your capital by getting into the BRRRR strategy, getting into buying properties cheap. Maybe you go to the auction, maybe you have wholesalers bring them to you. You know, there's lots of ways to get in front of cheap properties, lots of ways. And then you will use your capital to get in and out of these deals. You need to value add as well. So there are going to be times where you buy a single family, you convert it into a multifamily. You mix up your strategy so that you can get yourself to the next level. So you're doing a bit of that. You can also mix in some fundraising, which is good, because as you get better at this, I don't recommend fundraising, early, if at all, if you have to, because if you really get good at this and you start buying singles, converting them to multis, unlocking 150K there, buying from the auction, getting really low to the ground, unlocking value, kind of setting up value plays for yourself. You probably won't even need to raise funds, but with the right mastery of the BRRRR strategy, you could successfully raise, $1 million, $500,000, and lever that into deals and stabilize those deals and provide a return. So it would be a combination. If you have extreme capital issues, remember and never forget there are only two things in real estate: knowledge and money. The less you have of one, the more you need of the other. In fact, I would even take that further to say that the knowledge of real estate is more valuable than the money funding it, because the money finds the people who know how to find the deals. So you need to become a deal finder. Does that make sense? The money will find the people who find the profitable deals. So become a deal finder. Start learning how to find value and unlock it. You need that knowledge of what that process is, how to analyze deals, where to look for them, how to network, and how to get off-market deals as well. How to create, deal overflow. Once you master that, you could raise funds into those deals. How do you know? Because lenders will already give you money up to 100% funding. You can also do like HELOCs, business lines of credit, roping in capital partners. I've seen a lot of people, I'll say, lever these HELOCs. And on the HELOCs, also understand if you have rental properties, there are also HELOCs that you can put on your rentals, not just your owner occupied property. So you need to understand that, because a lot of people are sitting on, I got 3 rentals and I just kind of took my foot off the gas. I'm not understanding they can unlock those properties. Some of those properties you've been sitting on, you haven't appraised them. You haven't been watching the market, but the market's up. You might have 100K sitting here. I've seen a lot of California people, because their properties appreciated so much in that market over the last 20 years. They're sitting on $500,000 where they can take a HELOC and use your house to print more houses. It's like, how are you going to do that? You're going to buy them cash or through the HELOC. The HELOC's a little bit cheaper than it's a lot cheaper than a hard money lender, actually. So you're getting cheaper capital, using that to value add a property. You can usually, because you can more or less buy cash through the HELOC, you can leverage that fast, quick close in 10 days type of power in your offers, and you can get discounts. And with the savings, you can break even on many deals or cash out refinance on many deals. This is all kind of capital recycling. And then you need to get into creative financing. If you have extreme like cash or credit issues, you need to get into creative financing. You should be focusing on lease purchase options primarily and controlling properties without ownership. That might land you might wake up in an alternate universe as somebody who lease options properties and then Airbnbs them or midterm rents them, or you may get into some extreme arbitrage that yields lots of cash flow and control without ownership. I would dig into creative financing, because there are lots of people who, on the flip side of this, it's kind of funny, but on the flip side of this journey, like we're here, we're watching how to go from 1 to 10 plus properties. Well, I've also seen guys with those properties. I've seen guys and been around these guys where, they built 100 property portfolio, 2 partners, now they're 65. And it always seems like the kids don't want anything to do with the real estate. It's the funniest thing. It'll happen to me too, I'm sure. And now they're going to offload this portfolio probably at a discount. And there are lots of people who are burnt out. There are different levels of that. They might have 100 properties. They might have 10 properties, might have 5 properties, 8 properties, 15 properties. These are opportunities for lease options. People who ain't in a hurry, don't really want to sell, but getting tired, kids ain't going to keep it. You can acquire a 10 property portfolio like that pretty easily too, because the people who are operating at that level of having a 10 to 15 property portfolio, this is what you guys need to understand. When you have your 10 properties, you're not the same person you are now. Not in a negative way, but just from a knowledge and experience standpoint, you will be a totally different person. And that version of you really can digest a lease purchase option and control without ownership and all of these systems and strategies very well. So when you go and pitch that to them, they're like, oh, okay. So you just take care of everything, all the drama, and we'll just put it under account, because they've been around the block and they've seen that stuff before. So you actually can do these lease purchase options on those portfolio deals, 20 units, 30 units, 40 units, a lot easier than even a single family or, residential multifamily, if that makes sense.